Saber-piece Theater presents Showdown on Geonosis, with Mickey Mouse as Anakin Skywalker, Pooh Bear as Obi-Wan, Goofy as Count Dooku, and Stitch as Yoda. Obi-Wan and Anakin follow the speeder to a Geonosian tower. The speeder descends rapidly. The gunship follows. Count Dooku's speeder parks outside the tower. The gunship parks next to it. Obi-Wan and Anakin leap down and run inside the tower. Count Dooku throws switches on a control panel. His interstellar sail ship is guarded by a squad of super battle droids. Count Dooku turns as Obi-Wan and Anakin run in through the hangar doors. They draw their lightsabers. Count Dooku looks at Obi-Wan and Anakin with slight amusement.
We move in together. You slowly enough.
I'm taking him now!
Anakin, no!
You'll pay for all the Jedi you've killed today, Dooku!
Anakin charges across the open space at Count Dooku, who smiles faintly, watching him come. Anakin raises his lightsaber. At the last moment, Count Dooku thrusts out an arm, and Anakin is lifted up, hurled across the room, and is slammed into the opposite wall. He slumps to the foot of the wall, semi-conscious. Count Dooku moves toward Obi-Wan. Kenobi, isn't it? As you can see, my Jedi powers are far beyond yours.
I don't think so.
Obi-Wan lifts his lightsaber. Count Dooku smiles. Oh, but if I must... Count Dooku draws his lightsaber. He and Obi-Wan start to circle each other. Obi-Wan comes in fast, swinging at Count Dooku's head. Dooku parries the cut easily. As they fight, it quickly becomes clear that Dooku is the complete swordsman. Elegant, graceful, classical, a master of the old style. Master Kenobi, you disappoint me! Yoda holds you in such high esteem. Count Dooku parries another cut. Surely you can do better! I'm surprised! Has Jedi swordsmanship degenerated so quickly, or are you just trying to make fun of me? Count Dooku thrusts. Obi-Wan steps back quickly, panting for breath. Come, Master Kenobi, put me out of my misery. Obi-Wan takes a deep breath, gets a fresh grip on his lightsaber, and comes in again. For a moment, he drives Count Dooku back. Then, Dooku's superior skill begins to tell again, and he forces Obi-Wan to retreat. Count Dooku increases the tempo of his attack. Obi-Wan is pushed to the limit to defend himself. Dooku presses, his lightsaber flashes. Obi-Wan is wounded in the shoulder, then the thigh. He stumbles back against the wall, trips, and falls. His lightsaber goes skittering across the floor. Count Dooku raises his lightsaber. Obi-Wan looks up helplessly. Dooku's lightsaber flashes down and clashes against Anakin's lightsaber. Count Dooku and Anakin stare, eyeball to eyeball. That's brave of you, boy, but foolish. I would have thought you'd have learnt your lesson.
Gee, well, I'm a slow learner.
You have unusual powers, young Padawan, but not enough to save you this time.
Gee, well, don't bet on it.
Anakin!
Obi-Wan uses the Force to catch his lightsaber, and he tosses it to Anakin. With two lightsabers, Anakin attacks. Count Dooku parries. It is no contest. Anakin is driven back against the wall. He loses one lightsaber. Finally, Count Dooku, in one flashing move, sends Anakin's arm, cut at the elbow, flying, still gripping his lightsaber. Anakin drops to the ground in agony. Count Dooku draws himself up to deliver the coup de grace. Suddenly, the great doors slide open. The droids turn fast, raising their weapons. Through the thick smoke emerges the heroic figure of Yoda. He stops on the smoke-filled threshold. 4 droids lined up on either side of him, guns pointed. Before the droids can get off a shot, Yoda raises his hand, and the droids are flung against the far walls and crash to the floor in heaps of smoking metal. Silence. Count Dooku steps away from Anakin to face the Jedi Grand Master. His lightsaber whirls in a formal salute. Master Yoda!
Count Dooku.
At last we shall know who is the most powerful.
No interest in contest do I have, my old Padawan.
Count Dooku charges across the space at Yoda. He rains down blows upon the tiny figure. Yoda doesn't budge an inch. He parries every cut and thrust that Dooku aims. Nothing the great swordsman tries gets through. His energy drains. His strokes become feebler, slower. Yoda then attacks. He flies forward. Count Dooku is forced to retreat. Words are insufficient to describe the range and skill of Yoda's speed and swordplay. His lightsaber is a humming blur of light. Count Dooku's lightsaber is sent cartwheeling from his hand. He staggers back, gasping and spent against the control panel. Yoda jumps onto Dooku's shoulders and is about to drive the lightsaber into the top of the Count's head.
The end for you, Count, this is.
Not yet! Count Dooku raises his arms and knocks Yoda off his shoulders, and then, with all his might, he uses the Force to pull on one of the cranes in the hangar. It comes crashing down on Obi-Wan and Anakin. But in the blink of an eye, Yoda is under the crane, holding it up using the Force. Yoda closes his eyes and concentrates. Anakin is unconscious, and Obi-Wan tries to get out from under the crane. The fallen crane trembles. Behind it, the sound of the sail ship's engines are heard starting up. Yoda concentrates harder. Slowly, the crane rises. The sound of the engines increases. Yoda exerts every scrap of his powers. The crane lifts clear of Anakin and is thrown to the ground. Dooku's sail ship takes off. Obi-Wan and Anakin struggle to the exhausted Yoda, but it's too late. The sail ship rises into the air and flies away. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation of Saber-piece Theater. If not, we're sorry. Not really. Better luck next time!